Welcome to those who are watching this as a recording. I am just setting up my tech right now. We will start in 2 minutes, and our focus will be holding on to your magnesium throughout the end of the year. So in 2 minutes, we'll go ahead and start while I just get everything set up and ready. I see some people joining already. Welcome. Instagram always hops on first. We'll be talking magnesium, all things magnesium, and creating patterns that will help us hold on to that magnesium. So glad to have you here. This is a great time to ask questions. If you've got questions about magnesium, we will start in 1 minute. Good morning, Elaine. So nice to have you here. Thank you for the good morning. It just helps me remember there's people. I can't see your face, and I so appreciate that good morning. It made my day. What a beautiful way to start. 1 more minute and we'll start. We'll be talking about soaking in magnesium and holding on to it, because this time of year, the pattern I've seen, it drops. And so holding on to our magnesium throughout the end of the year. Oh, good morning, Beth. I saw cute pictures of your kids on social media. They look so sweet. They look so cute. Good morning. Thank you so much, Beth. Okay, 7:55. Let's go ahead and start. My name is Kristen. I'm a magnesium advocate. Have been talking about magnesium for over 20 years now. And today's topic will be breaking the pattern that I have seen happen every single year. I have lived it. I've watched others lived it. And let's talk about it. Break the pattern so that we're holding on to magnesium through the end of the year. There are lots of holidays and traditions and cultural things that each family does to support traditions. And it can be stressful. It can be higher sugar intake. And all of those things decrease our magnesium. When we decrease our magnesium, it becomes harder to hold on to strong vitamin D levels. Vitamin D is the key, is the gateway to a healthy immune. But you have to turn that key. Magnesium turns that key to activate that vitamin D. The first thing to look at is magnesium. Soaking in magnesium, achieving and maintaining cell saturation of 6.3 or above was the game changer for me after a failed surgery that landed me in the hospital and wheelchair with seizures over 20 years ago. I want to give strategies. Today, you are going to decide how deep you go. I have some questions for you to ask yourself if you want to. If you're not in a place to be in loving evaluation, don't do it. Just listen and let it go out one ear. You could use today's questions to beat yourself up. And that's not my goal or intention at all. This is a loving evaluation of where we're at so that we can determine what patterns we want to let go of, what patterns we want to increase to create help and connection with those that we love throughout the end of the year. So, you ready? Let's go. Number 1, when was the last time you delegated and asked someone to do it? This for me is I don't even want to say it to cement it in. It's one that I am learning, and man, it pushes me out of my comfort zone in a big kind of way. Yesterday, Shelly was in office with me, and there was some things that needed to happen, and I grabbed a box and said, "Oh, I'll drop this off at FedEx." And she said, "Or you could have shipping, Emily, do that in shipping." And I realized, oh, yes, I need to ask for that help and delegate that. Man, that comfort zone, I like comfort, and it pushed me out, I needed help. I needed Emily helping me. And that's Emily's focus is shipping. Delegating. Now, you may not be focused on shipping things. Where can you delegate? And if you're someone who thinks, oh, it's just easier to do it myself, it's usually a lie, not always, but usually a lie. And having all of those things to do drains your magnesium. I'd love to know, have you delegated anything lately? The next one, when was the last time you said no? Because if we're not saying no, we're doing things out of obligation, and typically we tend to get frustrated because we really didn't have the time or energy or focus to do it. And then we end up draining our magnesium. I practice it. My husband will grab me and he'll say, okay, let's work on it. Tell me no. And so we literally role play back and forth because I want to say yes to everything. I want to do all the things. I want to be of service and help people, but I have to keep that in balance. And so we practice him and I saying no. If you recorded it, it would look ridiculous, but it's so helpful to me. I want to know, when was the last time you said no? The next one, movement is medicine for your body. Movement is medicine. When your stress levels hit, do you have that pattern of going outside and walking or standing up from your chair and just moving? This morning, a member of team, I'll leave them nameless, member of team just hit some stress right at the beginning of the morning. And so she came in and said, I'm taking a walk. Do you want to go with me? Now, I'd promised, I wanted to say yes. I'd promised to be here. And so I said no to that one so that I could show up and fulfill my obligation. And that was a good fit for me. It did remind me, do a quick walk around the block after your live this morning. She took care of her mental needs. Taking that walk outside was what she needed to focus and feel that stress level come down. Movement is medicine and helps keep your nervous system regulated. When your nervous system is regulated, you hold on to magnesium and life flows better, especially that feminine energy. A regulated nervous system helps you hold that feminine energy, and feminine energy attracts. We bring things to us without working it, without pushing it. When we're standing powerfully in that feminine energy, things just show up. When we're stressed, we're losing that energy and that power to attract. And so taking a quick walk can help regulate that nervous system. Here's another one. When was the last time you asked for help? Just simply said, I need help. Can you help me? When was the last time you did that? Asking for help is not weakness. Asking for help is powerful. You're saying, hey, I am worth your time to ask for help, to get something done. Yesterday, I asked Shelly for a lot of help. I needed some help. I was really stuck, and they were really simple things. I asked for help and she helped me. And Shelly, you're listening right now. Thank you for helping me and all the things that you did yesterday. There's nothing wrong for asking for help. It doesn't make you weak. It helps you to stay regulated, and especially when you show gratitude after. And I don't know about you, but when someone asks me for help, I love that. What a privilege, what an honor that they think that I have something that I could help them with. Ask for help when you need it. Okay, next one. Don't forget about yourself. You know what I do? This, in the end of the year, is my birthday and holidays. Our family celebrates Christmas, and I buy a birthday present to myself, and I buy a Christmas present for myself. It's just something I do. I do that. I don't forget myself. Don't forget yourself in loving and lifting all the people around you. Don't forget about you. You can't do all those things from an empty place. In fact, when you give service, if it makes you mentally and emotionally tired, you're giving service from an empty place or giving service from a place of needing to get something. True service that you're just loving on people is energizing and lifts you and clears you emotionally. Service that you're trying to get validation or you're trying to show people, I can do this. That kind of service makes you tired. Don't forget about yourself. The next one is so simple. Open a window. Just open a window. Breathe in the fresh air. Take a deep breath. Regulate your nervous system. Hold on to that magnesium that you soaked in. That's our goal. We soak in magnesium. We achieve cell saturation. We maintain cell saturation. Taking 20 seconds, open that window. Breathe in the air. Might be too cold to leave it open, might be too hot to leave it open. But in just that little moment, that fresh air can make a huge difference in how regulated you are and will help you hold on to magnesium instead of pushing magnesium out. The next one is one of my favorite. I'm a candle collector. Beeswax candles have the same flicker as the sun and have been shown to reduce cortisol. I have a beeswax candle person that I buy in bulk so that I can have candles burning. Even in the summertime, I burn candles. In the fall and winter, I burn a lot. It just is very soothing to me. And I love that light honey scent that can happen. I have some other candles that I love. Beeswax are the best at reducing cortisol and helping to keep your nervous system regulated so that you're holding on to that magnesium that you soaked in. The next one, lots of holidays are coming up. Different holidays that different people celebrate. Don't get caught up in the hype. One of the things that I do is I don't look at magazines after November 1st. Yeah, silly little thing, but it works for me because when I see I'm an 80s girl and I love a good magazine and I have subscriptions to several. And when I look at that magazine as I'm prepping for my family's Thanksgiving, I start comparing. And then I can end up in a place of lack. And I don't want to be in a place of lack. I want to be in a place of love where I'm bringing people in and loving on them. That magazine, as I'm prepping for the holidays, can flip things in my head and make the dialogue, oh, my front room doesn't look like that, or oh, I need to paint my walls, or oh, my decorating isn't what I'm seeing, or oh, my place settings need to be upgraded. Not what people remember. They remember how they felt around you. And if you're stressed and you're comparing yourself to your Pinterest board or your TikTok feed or your beautiful magazine layout, you'll be in a place of lack. That will be the filter. Just like when I put my beautiful Caddis glasses on that filter the blue light and reduce tension when I'm on a computer, it filters, it changes everything when I put my Caddis glasses on. When you are in a place of lack, it's as strong of a filter as my glasses are, and it filters everything that you see. Don't get caught up in the hype. Determine, where is that showing up for me? Is it a TikTok feed? Is it Instagram stories? Are you old school like me and it's a magazine? Make sure that you're not getting caught up in the hype. Now, it might not affect you, but look and see. Most women, it does. Not everybody, but most women, it does. Stop watching things that create stress. Movies. And again, this is that same compare and contrast pattern that can walk us away from help. If there's certain movies that are creating stress for you. Again, that my place setting isn't the same. And I'm not dogging on Hallmark movies. A lot of times we think, oh, we didn't have that conclusion that they had, or we didn't find that love or whatever it is. And it might not be Hallmark movies, but look at what you're visually watching. Did that compare and contrast come up for you? And if it did, take that filter off. Traditions. I love traditions. Really, you could eat tacos on Thanksgiving and still connect with those that you love. Really, you can. You don't have to do that whole big spread. You don't have to do it. You do not have to do it. You could do tacos. You could do takeout. You can eat out. Do what makes you happy. Walk away from those things that you feel the pressure to do. If it's a stressful thing, I'll never forget my mom makes Parker house rolls. The grandkids, I'll call them better than Costco rolls. And one year, she just did not have it in her to make that level of rolls for her big extended family. And so she sent a text out to everybody and said, hey, I know this is part of the tradition that grandma has always had homemade rolls for every meal for the 3 days that you're here. It's not happening this year. I'm tired. And there was a little bit of like, what? What? How can we have Thanksgiving without grandma's rolls? But when it came down to it, everybody supported her. She stood up for what she needed. She drew a boundary and told people, this is what I can do and this is what I cannot do. And Thanksgiving still happened. And it was wonderful. We had traditions. We were with each other. That's the most important thing, is you're with each other and loving on each other. Or maybe you're calling each other. Walk out of the expectations that society says about the holidays. Determine what's important to you and those that you love. Next one, fears. This is the last one. And then I see some questions that have come up. One of the most impactful things that I did was to ask my adult children, what is your favorite part of this specific holiday? For me, I was asking for Thanksgiving, and then later on I asked for Christmas, so I didn't overwhelm them. My kids are all busy, so many things happening in their lives. The Thanksgiving traditions that my kids loved, that they wanted to continue, were nothing that I thought was important. Nothing. I was so far off base. Getting that feedback from them changed everything about what happened during the holidays. Now, for kids, it can be stressful when they're adults that they can't get back home and they know they've disappointed you, or they need to go to the in-laws and they know they disappointed you, or maybe they're concerned about, if I show up, will nap schedules and food routines be honored of what I've set up for my children? And it can be stressful for grandparents in a different way. Will my traditions that I worked on for so long and that were so important to me as my children were young, will those live on? Did I really connect my family with those traditions? And another thing that I worry about, when all of those adult kids come together, will there be happiness and peace and love and joy? Or will it be stressful? And this one and that one that just personality-wise don't get to get along as well as this one and that one. How stressful will it be bringing this family together as adults with different thoughts and beliefs, political views? What's that going to look like? So there's fear that can be held on different levels, but it's still fear. Having a little bit of conversation about that. I know I opened it just a little bit the first year I had heard about asking that question, and it changed the game on my stress level for the holidays. Did you know that one of my kids, their favorite thing was they got to pick a soda that they wanted at the Thanksgiving table, and they loved Dr. Pepper. And I gave them Dr. Pepper, and there was no stress about it. It's something that out of a joke ended up happening. That was their favorite thing. They're like, Mom, you weren't stressing over what I was drinking. And I realized, oh, I've never said that to them as adult children, but I've had the thought, but they picked up on that. And so they held the stress that I held. If you really want to give connection, love, and traditions, the internal stress that you're holding, the people that love you are holding it also. So let's take a big breath, open your window, light a candle, breathe it out, let it go. And remember what's important to you, and ask those family members the traditions and the holidays that you celebrate, what's important to them. The indoor snowball fight we have was number one with all my kids. Of all the things that I do, it was the indoor snowball fight with those snowballs you throw on Amazon. They love that. They absolutely love doing that. That tradition will never end in the Bowen family. The other things that I was doing that took so much time, I let some of those go. And man, did my stress levels drop. And that's my goal, to hold on to my magnesium. Okay, I've seen some questions come in. My goal is that today we shift and preemptively strike what the end of the year will bring in traditions and holidays that we're preparing right now. If you wait until you're in the middle of it, my perception is it's so much harder to make a difference. But we're just doing a quick, loving evaluation if it's a good fit for you to do that. Might not be in a place to do that, and that's okay. I want to hold on to my magnesium through the holidays so that magnesium rich environment that I've created in my body is not reactive. Families coming together can be stressful. I don't know about your family, but there's some stress in mine. And if I've created a magnesium rich environment, I'm not reacting to that stress. I have more calmness and the ability to evaluate before I speak, before I take that action, and determine, is this how I want to handle this situation? A calcium dominant environment, you're more reactive. And that just adds stress on top of stress on top of stress, and doesn't bring together the people that you love. That doesn't bring people together. There is such power at a table of commensality, of traditions and people that you love. It connects us. It lowers our cortisol levels. If we walk into it with tools in our tool belt that we're utilizing, and if we're focused on what's important to us. And my kids said nothing about my spectacular place settings that I've worked so hard on. Didn't even come up. And so I'm letting it go. I'm letting that go. That hyper focus that I have on the place settings. It didn't even come up on their list. It's not even a part of what's important to them. So I hope today just helped you take a minute to ask yourself, what can I do? What's important to me? And what is important to those that I love? And bringing those things together, letting some of those things go, saying no, asking for help, to make sure that the rest of the year we're holding on to our magnesium, because the pattern that I have seen over the last 20 years has been that women will leak their magnesium. Oh, when I hold my hands up, the camera moves. Women will leak their magnesium about now, October to mid-October. Sugar intake will go up, magnesium will go out, stress levels will go up with the holidays, the expectations, the extra cleaning, the food, the meals, all of that. And then they'll get frustrated, will give up. Oh, I'll start in January. And that's a lie. And so the 3 months, this last quarter of the year, I've seen women, and I've done it myself. I'm not pointing a finger at all. The only reason I'm aware of this pattern is I have lived this pattern. Losing all of the gains that I made throughout the year, this is the easiest quarter to lose what you've done. And then repeat the pattern of giving up at the end of the year, and in the back of your head saying, oh, I'll start this in January. But then you start in January and you're 50 steps behind what you built by the end of September. So in actuality, you've now become like a hamster on a hamster wheel, and you're really not moving forward. I won't move my hands for that pattern because of my camera, but you're not really creating more health. You're stuck in a hamster wheel of broken patterns. And so determining now, of the 20 years of the women I've worked with, in October, a little refresh. October's almost like a mini January for me, in a refresh of what's working, what's not working. That little mini refresh of what is going to work for me, what hasn't worked for me, to have the most abundant end of the year, to fulfill those dreams and traditions that you want, that are important to you. So I'm going to go to questions and see if we had any. This is a great time to ask questions about magnesium, to pick my brain. If there's anything that I can do to help you, I would love to. Let me grab some water though. Away from the camera, so or the mic, so it's not as loud. Okay. Oh, Jen, you are so welcome. I hope some of those helped. Those questions are my list from my personal journal that I go over and ask myself. I do mine the first Sunday in October. I just have that on my calendar every year. It's a repeating action. And the first Sunday in October, I go over this list and I write out my thoughts. And that's when I reach out to my kids. What are you wanting this year? What are your plans? Recognizing that I want them doing what's best for them. And that might not be hanging out with me for every holiday. And I want to be in a place that I don't take that personally. And so that first Sunday in October is when I really go deep on this list. Robin, hello. It's so nice to see you. Oh, non-sugar Halloween treats. It's I had someone, I'd shared on something. We've had some health concerns in my family, and I'd shared that, and Mary brought by this massive bag of health for me and my family. And sometimes when those traditions that we have, that we hand people all of the fudge and all of those things, are we supporting each other's health? And here's the thing, there's nothing wrong with fudge. I used to go to extremes. There is, you do what works for you. There are some times that my body needs me to completely stay away from sugar. And there are other times that I think, okay, the 90-10 balance is good for me. And in October, that first Sunday in October, is when I make that decision. What is the balance for me? So this year it's 80-20. I'm feeling good. My body's strong. My C-reactive protein on my blood work that I do once a year, C-reactive protein helps you see your inflammation levels. And my C-reactive protein came back that my inflammation was down from last year, which means I'm moving in a good direction. My energy levels are good. I've had a couple of slump days, but my energy is good in the morning when I wake up. Stress levels are higher than they usually are. I am really focused on pulling out some more tools for myself. My decision was 80/20 was a good mental, emotional, physical fit for me this year. Now, sometimes with food and traditions, I've gone 100/0. I can't do that this year because of where my health was. This year for me, taking in physical, mental, emotional, 80/20 is a good fit for me. And that first Sunday in October is when I pull out my little questionnaire and just do a deep dive and make that decision. And I do like to do non-sugar treats because face it, they get sugar everywhere. I do love seeing little ones dressed up. It's my favorite. They're so sweet. And so I love greeting them at the door and loving on them and the creativity that comes out and a way to just connect with neighbors. I do love giving a non-sugary treat. And I've done some that are better than others. The one year I did, I thought it was really cute. Pencils and a little pad of paper, and then they were cute and they were wrapped up and they looked very festive, and you could tell on the older kids' faces, oh, thanks. And so for me, my balance is finding something that they're as excited about that I am as excited about to give them. And so I've done better some years than other years. In fact, if you've done non-sugary treats, I would love to create a little collection, and you and I can create right now on this live. Healthy women are creative women, and we create help. We are creators. Let's create a list of non-sugary treats that you share with little ones or anyone that come to your door for that Halloween tradition that many families or fall festivals, depending on how your family approaches that. I'd love to know some non-sugary treats that you've done that have been a hit. Pencils and a cute little pad of paper? Nope, not a good fit. Oh, Amy, you'll be finishing a 30-day soak next week on your birthday. I'm going to continue a few times a week after that. Magnesium soak is my no matter what self-care because it makes such a difference for you. I love that, Amy. And thank you for sharing that with me. And I love the fact that you have already made that decision, that it is a non-negotiable. I have non-negotiables also. Magnesium is also one of my non-negotiables. Stretching in the morning is another non-negotiable. Stretching in my lymph. I can do a stretch in 3 minutes. If it's a very busy morning, I've got one that incorporates lymph and stretching. Those are some of my non-negotiables. I love hearing your non-negotiables, that it doesn't matter, this happens. And I love the fact that you've already made your decision how often you need to soak. During fourth quarter, I look at the year in quarters, and we're in fourth quarter now, October, November, December. I actually increase my magnesium soaking. It's the busiest time of year for my company, Living the Good Life Naturally. It's the busiest time of year for my family with holiday traditions and birthdays. And the combination of the two can leave me with not as much sleep and working harder. And I know that I need to support my body with the expectations that I have. So my expectations are high. My magnesium soaking needs to match that. And I love that. And happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. I hope you've signed up on the website. We have a birthday gift that goes out by email when on your birthday. So I hope you've signed up for that on the website. I so hope. Oh my gosh, Amy, sticky hands. I have never even thought of doing sticky hands, and even my adult kids still love sticky hands. That is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Oh, yes, Amy. And if you don't get that birthday email that comes out, please reach out to info@livingthegoodlifenaturally.com, and oh my gosh, Team Good Life will get that taken care of for you. Those um, the birthday coupon that we give makes my heart happy. I love it. Was a hard one to get set up on the website. We had some issues. It was so worth it. And I love knowing that birthday emails are going out to people. So if you signed up for it, it'll be there. Oh, Jen, is what it does is when you check out, it will give you that option to join the birthday club. So please join it. And then next year it will come up automatically. Okay, Kelly, welcome, Kelly. I recently completed my first 30-day challenge. I just received the Mag Bundle Pack and look forward to keeping levels up for the holidays. That Magnesium Bundle Pack has been so much fun. It is at such a great price, and we've kept it at that price. Like at first we were just going to do a sale on it and then stop it and put it back at regular price. And we had so much feedback, and team, this is what helped me keep it at this price. Team got so efficient at packing that and mailing that, so that when Emily needs to mail it, she just has to grab one box. And because the other part of the warehouse is packing it so quickly and efficiently, it really reduced my cost, making it so that I could give you that savings. So a huge thank you, huge shout out to Team Good Life, every single person, from the people who cap, from the people who clean the bottles, from the people who put it in the boxes, from the people who ship it. The way that they work is what allows me to do the pricing on that one. If you love magnesium, the magnesium bundle, I'm going to grab some water. Now, I would love to know, Kelly and Amy, and there's no right or wrong to this. There's absolutely no right or wrong. I would love to know, do you plan on getting your magnesium red blood cell tested? Some people do, and some people do not. The upside to the magnesium red blood cell test is the numbers will help determine how often you need to soak. Those numbers will help you determine. The downside is it's another expense and it's time. And it's not always a good fit for everyone. Healthy women make their decisions strong. They don't waver. They don't agonize. They make the decision that's best for them, not the decision they see everyone else making on social media, not the decision that their best friend is making because it worked for her, not the decision that their mom wants them to make. They make the best decision for them, and they hold that strongly. And on testing your red blood cell levels, it may not be a good time for you to test, and you're just doing a physical evaluation of how you feel. Or it may be a good time for you to test so that you know, with a little bit deeper detailed feedback, how often you need to soak in fourth quarter. My goal is not to fall behind on my health, that I'm having to rebuild in January what I built the previous year in the first 3 quarters. October, November, December is where I see health tank in women across the board every year. It happens every year. And I thought, I want to talk about it today. It wasn't like a great hook to get, I want to learn about that. It's an important one though. And showing up for yourself and determining, just like Amy did, she determined before, making the decisions before you're in that situation is a pattern that healthy women step into. Not that we do it perfectly. Imperfect action. I'm living proof right here. My face. I'm living proof that imperfect action gets you healthy. It got me out of a wheelchair, got me not having seizures, got my hair back, got my eyelashes back, got my energy back, got TMI, bladder function back again, and feeling good and loving and connecting with people, which is my favorite thing. Imperfect action. Healthy women as they can, make decisions before, not in the middle. Making it before can be so much less stressful. Oh, Jen, just got your test and waiting for the results. Another pattern that I see happening is some people, and it happens more at the end of the year than the beginning, than the first 3 quarters, is that you get your magnesium test back, and it's, if you've had another one, it's actually lower. I'm seeing more and more a taurine deficiency. And if that happens for you, Jen, if this is not your first test and it goes lower, taurine helps hold magnesium in the cell. And soaking in the magnesium, if you're low in taurine, can push it out at a faster rate. Currency. Staying healthy, creating health, maintaining health is about currency. What's happening now? What's the foundational pieces, but what are we currently dealing with as a society? And I am seeing that pattern of taurine very strongly across the board with the women that I work with. And so if that happens, taurine, remember though on taurine that taking too much of it can actually tank your thyroid function. And so we have the philosophy, I think it was Shelley that coined this at Living the Good Life, or maybe it was Megan, my daughter, I'm not sure. Anyway, low and slow. Just start low and slow with taurine. Don't dive in and do max doses. Supplements are powerful, and we don't want that taurine that in the proper doses can hold the magnesium in your cell. If you take excess doses, it can tank thyroid function. So really keep that balance on helping your body have the cofactors it needs to hold on to that. Okay, so G Gardening has a general question. Oh, looking for an affordable faucet to put on so I'm not soaking in things I don't want to. Might you have any suggestions for one? I have a couple that I like, and here's what I'll do, G Gardening. I will make sure I took my Amazon list down for a while. It just was, it's a lot to keep up and make sure it's staying current because of the testing that I do. Like I had one skin product that I loved, and then they changed the formulation, and I forgot that it was on my Amazon list and I wanted it down, but it was still there. And I was just like, I don't even know if people are using this Amazon list and if it helps people. And so I just walked away from it for a while. We are in the process of rebuilding that Amazon list. I am an Amazon associate and I do make a little bit. It doesn't cost you more. And then I donate those to humanitarian funds. That little bit, I think it's like 40 or 50 bucks a month that comes in from my Amazon. And then that's donated to humanitarian funds. And I will put the faucets up that I like on that Amazon list. Shelley and I will do that right after. There's a new one that I'm trying right now in my shower that I am excited about. It's a Jolie, Jolie, I believe. Now, I'm not wholeheartedly endorsing that yet. I'm still in the process, but it does have, I'm impressed so far. I'm at the very beginning though, but I'll share with you after I'm done with that one. Let me go here to Shelley throws up the Instagram questions. Oh, sauna in the past for a resource. Shelley, could you throw that link up, please? I've bought a very expensive sauna, the Sunlighten, and they're fabulous. They're a lot of money. I bought one for here for next door to my office. I've got my little gym set up, and I wanted one here in Utah, and I just didn't want to allocate that much money for a sauna. I bought Shelley will put the link up. It's called, I can't remember the name of it. Spiritual Quest, I think it's called. Shelley, if you'll throw that link up, that'd be great. And I paid, I think, about $1,800 for it. I saved up my pennies for that, and I love it. It actually has features that my Sunlighten doesn't. It's got a salt wall for those negative ions in it. And I bought a very small one this time. I one person in it is all I needed. I love it. I absolutely love it. And I did not have to allocate the mass amounts. Now, there's nothing wrong with the Sunlighten. They're wonderful. I really like my Spiritual Quest. I believe it's Spiritual Quest. Let me go check and see if Shelly got, oh, she did. Shelly got the link up on there. For those of you on Instagram, the links don't show up like they do on YouTube and Facebook. And so let's see, I'm not sure where we could put that. I'm not sure where. Oh, you know what I could do? I could put it in my bio link, and then those on Instagram could see that. Okay, let's go back here. I'm just answering questions now. I typically go about 30 minutes, but there was some good questions that I want to get back to. Oh, I love that. Somebody shakes, D shakes, spider rings, kazoos, finger yo-yos, spinning top, bouncy balls. I've done bouncy balls and those were a hit. I'm going to keep your list for other things. I've not tried the other ones, but I can see kazoos. Oh my gosh, wouldn't they love those? And finger yo-yos. I love it. Oh, G gardening. Yes, the packs. We've been able to leave it there at that price because we have built a team here at Living the Good Life Naturally, and they work beautifully together. Very different personalities, very different strengths, and they've just come together and created a team. And because of their efficiency, I'm able to leave it at that price. And that just makes me so happy. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. It looks like I got all of those questions as I browse those. Oh, okay, Jen, let me go over on the C-reactive protein. Let's talk a little bit about that blood work. Well, how about this? Give me some feedback for those of you on YouTube, on Facebook, or on Insta. Could you give me some feedback? Are you interested in a little bit of focus on C-reactive protein blood work and how I use that? I was going to do a blood work class. I've had to take that off my list. I am planning it for 2025. 2025. I'm spread at my capacity and didn't feel like I could do justice to the class and getting all the technical behind it set up. And so I won't be doing the class in 2024. I will be doing it in 2025. I think it's a really important skill to have, and I'd love sharing with people what I learned. But give me some feedback if you would, if going over that blood work right now would be helpful to you. Let's see. Oh, a couple people about sauna. Another thing on sauna that I do to protect my hair, because I do, oh, Tammy, yes to the blood work. Okay, we'll hit it. Let me cover hair on sauna because there was several people asking about sauna. And my hair, I wet it down. I put some conditioner on it. I wrap it in 100% cotton towel, and then I put my 100% wool on. A couple reasons that I do that. I'm protecting my hair from the heat, and the wool over the cotton is helping my head to hold the heat in, because on a sauna, we're looking for shock proteins, right? To straighten out those proteins in our body, repair them more quickly and more efficiently, and we're heating the inside of our body, not just the outside. We want the inside of our body heating up. so that we're increasing those shock proteins, decreasing inflammation. And so by wearing that wool hat, it's a very European, I'd never seen it before until I went out to Crystal Hot Springs to soak in the mineral water. And you always meet just such fun people out there, and a lot of people traveling will stop. And I noticed all the people from Europe are wearing hats while they're in the hot part of the sauna. And so, we got talking, and they were the ones who said, no one in Europe does it without a hat. It's just common knowledge to them, but I didn't understand that. And since then, I have 100% wool hat. I do like the cotton on top of my cream rinse, just to really protect it from the heat, and then the wool hat over the top to keep that heat in my body. So I hope that helps as your sauna. It's made a difference in my hair. My hair was drying out from all the sauna use, and it helped my hair. So I hope it helps yours. Okay, absolutely on blood work. A sauna hat. Amy, do you do cream rinse? Oh, my kids will laugh at me. Cream rinse. They're like, Mom, it's not cream rinse, it's conditioner. That cream rinse, putting that on and coating my hair with that has been a game changer. I was using a straight oil, and I thought, I'll oil my hair when I'm doing this, but the oil didn't protect it as well as the conditioner did. And so for me, the conditioner, the cotton wrap, and then the wool wrap. And it just takes like a minute to get all of that on. Okay. Oh, how often and how long do you recommend using the sauna to heal from chronic fatigue? It's a tool I never let go of. That's how powerful it is. It's a tool that I use in maintenance, and it varies for each person. It is something that is a 10 for me. If I were to rate on a scale of 1 to 10, how much using a sauna has helped my body to heal, it's 10. I don't want to let go of that, because I love tools that I invest in once and then I can use repeatedly. My T-zone vibration plate is a tool I will never walk away from. I am an affiliate for T-zone Vibration. It's a family-owned company. Their vibration plate is the best I have ever had over the 20 years of having numerous vibration plates. And I have a coupon code. Shelly, could you pull that link and that coupon code for people on the T-zone vibration plate? So my T-zone vibration plate for my lymph is as important to me as my sauna, and they're not tools I let go of. They are tools that are a part of my lifestyle choices to help my health. Emotions flow through our lymph. If your lymph is backed up, healing doesn't happen. Lymph is the unsung hero, and sauna and vibration plates both are incredibly important to your lymph. And they are two of my top tools that I've invested in over the years. And the sauna took me a long time to save up for. That's why I love that Spiritual Quest sauna that Shelly posted the link to, because it's a great sauna at an incredible price with chromotherapy. So it's got the lights that change. It's got a speaker. I can listen to meditation or an audible book or music. I can just sit in there and listen to music. So it's got that. It's also got a salt wall in it. And so it's one of my favorites. So over the years, I've added the sauna. I've added the T-zone vibration plate and the rebounder that from Shelly, if you'll tag Earthanel. Earthanel is one of my favorite people on social media. She's so giving in the information that she shares, and is so motivating and taught me so much about rebounding. I've been a rebounder for over 20 years, but my rebounding is so much more efficient because of, she goes by Earth and Al. So Shelly, if you would tag her, please go to her site for rebounder recommendations. She has so much information for you, much more detail than I can go into on rebounders. She knows her stuff. She knows her stuff. But so I don't ever walk away from them. It's not that I healed and then I dropped that tool, but it might be for you. That's one of those beautiful things that we each get to decide what tools are most important. And for me, sauna, my T-zone vibration plate, and my rebounder have been three of the most important tools that over the 20 years have stayed a part of my foundation. It's why I love the T-zone vibration plate, because I had to replace it so often. And this company and the quality and the rotation of their devices and the education that they give, the T-zone vibration plate has an app that goes with it. I used to just stand there, and now I do so much more, and I follow different routines when I'm using my vibration plate. And that vibration plate helps me reduce stress, keeps my nervous system regulated, and moves my lymph and helps my brain. I love my T-zone vibration plate, and I do have that coupon that Shelly has. Shelly can add in the link section, and it's a great coupon that they gave me, and so it saves money. And here's the thing: it's not mine to control how you walk away. I don't want to imply you have to have all of these tools, because focusing on gratitude changes your health. Not just listing the things you're grateful for, but experiencing deep gratitude changes. Deep breathing changes. Dr. Perry's lymphatic pattern changes. There are tools that don't cost money. If your budget cannot include a T-zone vibration plate, or can't include, now they do have a payment plan that you can do. They want to do everything they can to help you get that vibration plate in your home, because it's so great for kids. My grandkids hop on mine and just stand there and they think they're playing, but it's so beneficial for them. And they have a really great program that you can do payments. I don't want you to walk away thinking, oh, I have to buy all of these things to be healthy. I don't want to imply that. It's up to you how you walk away. I don't want to imply that. And so don't forget the power of deep breathing, creating gratitude internally, and focusing on lymph. And Dr. Perry's is one of the best. Shelly, if you could link to Dr. Perry, please, that would just be fabulous. Oh, Amy, sometimes use a hair mask or a protein treatment or a clarifying treatment. I'm going to try that. I have a great hair mask that I love, and I didn't even think of hair mask. I thought that's brilliant. Thank you for sharing that with me. Okay, let's go back to, Elise, thank you. You are so kind. I want the lives to be helpful, to help keep you motivated, to help you remember you're not alone. I'm out here walking the journey too. And when we're connected, it makes it easier. So thank you so much for those kind words. C-reactive protein. I'm moving even my head. The camera's really following my every move today, and it could make people nauseous. So I'll be very still and not move my body so the camera doesn't move. C-reactive protein. It is a test that measures inflammation. It is a test I do once a year. It's a slow-moving test. For example, you can test your magnesium every 30 days to get feedback. C-reactive protein, it would be a waste, in my opinion. And remember, I'm not a doctor. I am not diagnosing or telling you what to do. I'm sharing with you what I do for you to become and claim the power of being the CEO of your own health for you to make the best decisions for you. I'm just sharing what I do and what I've learned. C-reactive protein is one that it would be a waste of time, money, and energy to take every month. It's a slow moving test. So I do it once a year. I've done it twice a year for a couple of years, and it just wasn't worth the time, money investment. C-reactive protein will show you which way your inflammation is moving. Is it increasing? Is it decreasing? And there was a comment about using the C-reactive protein to determine sugar intake. There are numerous things, not just sugar, that determine inflammation. In fact, the more I learn, the more I see, the more I watch, the more I journal, go over my own journals and those of my, I journal for my clients, my one-on-one clients. And as I go over those journals that I've kept for them, oh, and so I'm going to get such kickback on this. Okay, here goes. This is my opinion. Yes, sugar is inflammatory. It's not the first place I would look for inflammation to decrease my inflammation. Not, is it something to be aware of? Absolutely. Is it something that is an anti-nutrient? Absolutely. There are so many more things that I would put before sugar to regulating inflammation and increasing health. Oh, there, I said it. What do you think? Some people will totally disagree with me, and that is absolutely fine. We can respectfully disagree with each other. I would focus on nervous system regulation and lymph before sugar. And here's the thing that happens with sugar. If you're not feeling good and you're trying to cut sugar, how many times have you tried to cut sugar only to end up back on sugar full force? That's a broken cycle. I'm focused on stopping my broken cycles. For me and for many women that I worked with, that stop-start of sugar is a broken cycle. Walking away from what everyone's telling me on social media and making decisions that are best for me has been incredibly important. Regulating my nervous system, moving my lymph, the magnesium morning trifecta, walking in the early morning sunshine is so much more important than how much sugar you're eating. And it's interesting, there's been some studies that have come out that sugar is not the driving force behind type 2 diabetes. It's inflammatory oils. I'd much rather, and I see people, I see clients focused on their oils more than their sugars and changing out the oil in their body to healthy oils create better health faster than people who are fighting the sugar demon. And it's interesting when you take energy off of fighting the sugar demon and just let it be and quit beating yourself up about it and focus in some other places, your sugar intake becomes less because you're feeling better and you're more balanced and your emotional patterns aren't driving your sugar habit. My husband is the king at getting things approved through pathways that aren't even there. He finds doors that aren't even there, and he'll be like, oh, look, I got approval for this, or I got this through, because he just went on side pathways where if he would have walked through the front door, the answer would have been no. Sugar for me is the same way. Letting go of the shame that I eat or ate sugar has helped me overall decrease my sugar. Focusing on the magnesium morning trifecta. And Shelley, could you put a link up for that? We have a post on the magnesium morning trifecta. Focusing on morning sunshine, walking, soaking in magnesium, that creates the magnesium morning trifecta. Moving your lymph. Dr. Perry's 2 minutes. You can do that in 2 minutes, moving that lymph, using my T-zone vibration plate to support the lymph moving after I've opened it up with Dr. Perry's Big Six movement. Using my sauna, regulating my nervous system, creating that magnesium-rich environment has helped overall decrease my sugar intake. Sugar does cause inflammation, and it does play a role. I'm not saying just go out and eat all the sugar that you want. It's not the most powerful place to start. And there's such a pattern of the stop-start cycle with sugar. Oh, I'm absolutely off sugar. And then a birthday comes or a holiday comes or a stressful moment comes and you're back on sugar and then you beat yourself up. That pattern is very strong and very prevalent and is broken and walks us away from health. By focusing on other things and regulating my nervous system, it's easier, and not even focusing on the sugar, it's been easier to reduce my sugar consumption overall. Now, there are times that I will do very specific things. I have things that I do during a full moon, like we have a full moon coming up, and there are very specific things I will do during that full moon. The moon dictates how the ocean waves move. That's the moon's in charge of that. And that movement of water affects our digestion and parasite activity. And so there are very specific things that I will do to support my body. I just address it differently now, and it's helped reduce that overall. So take what you want from that. The blood work. In fact, I'd love to know, what did you take from that? Was it helpful, or did that just create confusion? What was your powerful takeaway in your relationship with sugar? And maybe your relationship with sugar isn't broken. It's been a journey for me, and it's been a part of my health journey. Now, when we're talking, let's go back to that blood work of the C-reactive protein. There are many other deciding factors that are a part of my decision of how I handle sugar in the fourth quarter. There's a lot of other deciding factors. I don't do that solely off of the C-reactive. How does my body feel? Am I waking up in the morning tight and needing to stretch because I'm hurting? Or am I waking up energized, excited to go through my morning routine? My energy levels, my brain function, those are all deciding factors. Now, some people might not look at their brain function in deciding how much sugar they eat. I know it plays a role for me, and I know I'm very focused on brain function. I'm someone that I love the creativity of my brain. I hop around a lot, and it also can be a bit of a trauma response for me in my quote ADD diagnosis. And I'm always focused on what can I do for my brain to have the best brain function possible at the end of my life, and what can help me focus. And sugar walks me away from that. It's about balance, though, for me, not those extremes. There are patterns that I'll walk into, though, that will help support my health. So, okay, let's go back up here to some comments. Oh, Corey, thank you so much for the feedback on this. I was in the wrong place to see the comments that were coming in. I very much appreciate your thoughts on sugar. I couldn't agree with you more on the broken cycles are hard on us mentally and physically. Balance is always good. The broken cycles, and it's one of the reasons that Living the Good Life Naturally is here. I talk about magnesium a lot. And it is the main focus because it opens and activates the gateway of health by optimizing vitamin D levels, soaking in magnesium, maintaining cell saturation of 6.3 or above was a game changer for me personally. And I love educating and sharing my passion with magnesium. There's another side to the business of living the good life naturally, to our principles, and that is making sure that women understand the broken cycles that are burning your magnesium and making it that you're having to soak all the time. And I want those two coming together. Yes, soaking in magnesium, but understanding, how do I walk away from those broken cycles that make it that I'm losing the magnesium so that I'm soaking less often, is my goal. That's my ultimate goal. If I've helped someone understand the role magnesium plays, help them achieve cell saturation, maintain cell saturation, and then start to notice the patterns that walk them away and push that magnesium out, that's a happy day. It was delightful being with you today. Um, I love the comments. Jen, thank you so much for those comments. Let me scroll back here on Instagram. Make sure I didn't miss any there. Okay, so it looks like I got those. It looks like I got, and sometimes I miss some. I do my best. I do my best on that. I hope that walking into fourth quarter, if it would support you, that you create that space. I take about an hour with a book and pen and go through those questions. And in fact, is what we'll do is I will get these questions on a nice little page that we can send out to the email newsletter. And that way you can have them, you could print it out, you could, I have it written in my book. And so you could either write it in your book or actually glue the page in your book so that you've got those questions, or maybe you don't do it in a physical book. You could pop it in your phone with a reminder that a certain day in October that comes up, and you create that space of an hour to work with it. But I will be creating that right after this call with Shelly, and then we'll make sure that that goes out to the Good Journal. If you're not a part of the Good Journal, I would love for you to join. It is my email where I share my thoughts, my heart, my passions, recipes, sales. What else goes out in there? Just current things that I'm learning about and things that I want to share with you. And that goes, and my monthly masterclass that happens the first Monday of every month except November, because I will be in the Netherlands at the magnesium mine where the magnesium comes out from. 20-year dream happening for this girl to actually be there and meet in person the family that has the rights to that mine, to access that beautiful magnesium that I have put in that bottle right there and shared with you. So it won't be happening on November, but typically the first Monday of every month is a magnesium masterclass where we show up on Zoom. I can see your face and you can see my face, and we dive a little bit deeper. It's a little bit more personal. The class is free, and we just talk about subjects like blood work and nervous system regulation, and do some more hands-on work to help us maintain that strong foundation. Jen, tips for the full moon. Oh gosh, we could spend hours, you and I, sharing what we do. I think the most important thing on the full moon is to really focus on gut health, focus on release, focus on supporting your gut, and Yeah, I'll have to, yeah. How about this? I think that would be a great master class to focus on full moon rituals and patterns. It's so interesting to me. My husband is an entomologist by education. He's an entomologist, and him and his dad created a company that was so incredibly, I think it was like 100 million pounds of chemicals that did not go on our food because of the system that my father-in-law created. And it was just going back to the basics of making sure that there were good bugs in the field to fight the bad bugs. And so we had labs that bugs were grown, and then my husband and his dad and employees would go release those bugs in the field. And there used to be what they called an old wives' tale, in that on the full moon, that there was different patterns of crops and what happened with the crops. And science, like, oh, that's an old wives' tale. Well, now we know that there is a difference in the flight pattern of insects, good insects and insects that harm the crops during the full moon. The moon changes what happens with our food. And once I learned that, I really started cycling in to more of a seasonal living. In fact, I will also share to the newsletter one of my favorite books on seasonal living, and I read it every year because it just helps me tap into, especially the winter. We're supposed to slow down in the winter, and that's part of this full moon that's happening, is that slowing down process. And it's a time that we ramp up, right? All the traditions, all the things we do, we're supposed to slow down. The cold, resting, renewing our energetic core. And that full moon ritual that I do is to remind me to put that internally, to hold that internally, and then push it out into the choices I'm making for my life. Kathy, how do I connect with you on Zoom? That monthly masterclass that I do every month. The next one will be in December. That invitation only goes out to people on my email newsletter list to protect the people in the class and myself. I've put the invitation online before, and we had a lot of people show up that were just pranksters and couch surfers that were not saying appropriate things. And so it only goes out to my email newsletter list. It's very protected. You have to come on by video. I've asked team to take you out of the class if you're not coming on by video, so that we can see faces and we're creating connection and community, and it keeps everyone safe from a couch surfer saying inappropriate things or walking us away from what my goal is on that masterclass. And Shelly's just posted the link again, how to get on that newsletter. Let me share something about newsletters, though. They've really changed over the years. It used to be if you gave me your email, you would get the newsletter and you would see it and you would open it. Now, if you're not opening that newsletter, the algorithm that I'm not in control of will not send it to you. It will suppress you getting that email newsletter. And so you need to be active. You need to be opening it, reading it, responding to it. That's what will ensure that you are receiving those newsletters. For example, I send something out almost every day. Almost every single day, I'm sending something. A quick tip, a recipe, a long thought out pattern that I've learned that I want to share. Something's going out every day, but not everybody gets those every day. And it depends on how you interact with the email newsletter. So if you just open them and delete them, you might not get the recipes. If you open them and delete them, you might not get like I've got one coming up for castor oil that will be a process you might not get all of the parts. And so it really depends on your interaction with that newsletter, how much you get. If you respond back just with what you loved about the newsletter, that's the best way to make sure that you're getting all of those pieces that I send out, the skincare pieces, the recipe pieces, the magnesium pieces, all of those different things. Now, I do have to tell you, we had a total glitch, and some people got bombarded with we've had a handful of people reach out, so we're not exactly sure how many people it happened to, but they were getting like 8 emails in a day because of a crossover that I didn't realize was happening. And I deeply apologize for that. I never want to slam anybody with emails. It becomes both of us working together, me to send out good content and you to interact with the email newsletter to make sure you're getting those pieces that you want. I have loved hanging out with you today. Thank you so much for the interactions. Your takeaway, what is your powerful piece that you can take action on today from our time together? We've spent a bit of time. Some of you have come in and out. Some of you have stayed with me the whole time. What is that? And I probably lost Instagram because it went long enough. Instagram only will do the feed for so long. But what is your takeaway? What's your action piece? It's being together, connecting with each other, reduces cortisol and helps us to regulate our nervous system. But ultimately, it's the action that you take after our time together. My action piece will be creating the prompts that I use every October to help determine and create the culture of the holiday season. And I'll be creating that and sharing that with you in an email newsletter. What is your action piece that you'll take away from our time together? I would love to know. There will be a little bit of a delay in your comment, but I would love to know. And I want to just sit here for a minute and wait while you think about that. I'm going to grab some water away from the mic. I would love for you to know, what's your takeaway? What's your action piece? What will you do? Oh, Kathy, you're so welcome. I really want you to think about that. And maybe you're an introvert and don't want to leave a comment, and that's fine. Ask yourself, what am I taking away from the time that you and I spent together that you can take action on? And I've found it's not the big, massive things, it's the little things. Maybe you want to start to save up for a T-zone vibration plate. That's a piece of equipment that is simple to use, incredibly effective. And if you want to, is all you have to do is stand on it to get feeling better. 8 to 10 minutes a day. That's all I do. 8 to 10 minutes. That will help regulate your nervous system. Now, I do have a great coupon for it that they've given me to share with you to help you save some money. Maybe your action item is opening a window and just letting. Today here in Logan, it is beautiful, glorious sunshine with a crisp feel in the air. Maybe you're just going to open a window and get some sunshine on your face and take a couple deep breaths. Maybe you're going to go find a beeswax candle. What's your action piece? Determine that action piece. Healthy women take action. Sugar, Kathy, sugar is a part of diabetes. We're finding out more and more it's not the major drive of diabetes. It's the oil in your body. Think of the oil in a car. The quality of the oil in your body is much more important than the sugar intake that you have. Now, depending on where you're at, you might already have type 2 diabetes, and you absolutely need to regulate your sugar more than someone who doesn't. And so please, all the information that you hear, filter it through your body and where you're at on your health journey. Oh, Amy, I love that, to make a beeswax candle. I've done both kinds where you melt it and with the wick, and the kind that you roll, and they are such a delightful fall, slow down kind of experience to do. Kathy, using your rebounder, I love that. Sometimes it's not about adding new tools, it's about utilizing the tools that you have. Oh, Jen, I love this. Healthy women are creative. Take time to plan the third quarter, set routines, focusing on my lymph and nervous system. Emotions are in the lymph. Add salt to sauna. I love that, Jen. Thank you so much for sharing those and being a part of my journey. I love seeing those comments. And when you do comment, I get to see your face, and I love the connection. And that helps me to regulate my nervous system, to know there are other women out there who want similar things. A healthy, strong body so that they're lifting the people that they love and creating their gift in your community to make a difference in the world. It especially with, I've had to really stay off social media lately with a couple things that I saw that were just horrific. And there are so many people right now that are struggling, the storms and a loss of homes, a loss of everything that they've had. I cannot even imagine. I took action on that and donated to a place where I knew that the money would actually go to the people who have had their lives turned upside down by the storms that came in. We're really excited. We've been asked to submit our products for consideration for some exciting things. I can't say yet. And she was in Florida. She lives in Florida. And it was so interesting talking with her and connecting with her. She hasn't been as damaged and gone through what some of the other people in Florida have. And just that shared experience that she had with them, though, it's incredibly humbling. And taking action and for me, I had to walk away from what I was seeing on social media, but I needed to take action to help make a difference. I can't go and physically help them. I could donate money, though, to help support people having the resources that they need to take care of themselves. So I love you sharing with me the action that you're taking from today, because healthy women take action. Check out the Magnesium Morning Trifecta. The synergy that comes from those three simple things: walking in early morning sunshine, soaking in magnesium, and making sure that your eyes see that sun, helps decrease inflammation, helps regulate your nervous system, helps activate your vitamin D, and builds a strong foundation for your health. When we build a strong foundation, we are not chasing our health, and it's a much more powerful feminine energy than chasing the symptom for your hormones or chasing the symptom for better sleep. You're building a strong foundation and then evaluating with love and determining what's my action steps after my foundation is strong. Building that foundation strongly, so many of your symptoms go away because you've regulated your nervous system. You're increasing your magnesium levels and you're decreasing your inflammation because of the gift of red light that happens the first 2 hours of every morning. And recognizing we do that imperfectly. I don't hit it 7 days a week. I do it imperfectly. Imperfect action creates optimal health. I'm living proof. My face is here to remind you that imperfect action creates optimal health. We don't have to give up or beat ourselves up because we didn't do it perfectly. We can embrace that we are focused on moving forward with imperfect action. And that's what helped get me feeling better, feeling energized, creating my company, creating an environment that team feels like we honor their work-life balance has been incredibly fulfilling for me as the CEO of Living the Good Life Naturally. When you feel better, you'll start creating what's incredibly important to you. And that's how we lift and connect our communities when women wake up feeling good. The magnesium morning trifecta changes everything. I'm just asking 2 weeks, a couple times a week for 2 weeks, and then determine and evaluate how you feel. So far, I've never had anyone ever give me feedback that it wasn't worth the time investment of soaking in magnesium, walking in that early morning sunshine. It changes insulin resistance. It helps your cells become more receptive to nutrients. Hormones start to balance. Sleep starts to get better. Not overnight. Not we do it once and all of a sudden we're healthy. It's a slow, gradual change, but you'll feel the shift mentally because mentally your neurotransmitters will uptake more efficiently. And when you feel better, you start to make better decisions about your health because you're not as worn out and tired. And that's what the magnesium morning trifecta does. And here at Living the Good Life Naturally, we recognize that we all do it imperfectly. No judgment. And when you judge others, when they're not doing it perfectly, that's your indication that you're judging yourself 10 times more, 10 times more internally. And so watch what you judge about others because that judgment is internal and that drains your magnesium. We support each other. We recognize we're all in different places. We don't copycat each other's journey. We recognize that the journey is very individually created for each one of us. And while we're creating that journey, we're building that strong foundation. Oh, Amy, I love that. Your skin got better. That early morning sunshine is so beneficial for our skin and creating a healthy acid mantle. Love that feedback. Thank you. Have the best day. Bye. See.